A new company with a lot of history, GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Going Public. I'm Lonnie Thibodeau. Thank you for joining us, and we're very honored to have with us tonight the chairman of the State the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, Mr. Gordy Dove. How are you doing, sir?
Doing fine. How y'all been doing?
We're doing good. Thank you, Gordy. There is a lot of new information we want to cover, so we want to get started. Obviously, in the coastal world, the state of Louisiana, there's a lot going on and very positive stuff. So we don't want to waste any more time. You've got a presentation. Why don't we go ahead and get started at looking at it? And I guess it all starts with mid-barataria diversion, canceled a few months ago. That money, that $3 billion, am I saying the figure?
Well, it's about $2.5 billion.
About $2.5 billion. So those funds get to go to something else, somewhere else. And I guess that's where we kind of pick up the story, right?
Okay. And it's the Governor Jeff Landry's objective. As you know, I'm appointed by Governor Jeff Landry and ratified by the entire Senate. And our objective is to get these barrier islands rebuilt with rocks, solid rocks or segmented breakwater rocks, and naturally to build a land bridge from Port Sulphur all the way to Four League Bay, which is 94 miles, which is all on the engineering, besides our hurricane protection levees and our drainage systems and marsh recreation, et cetera. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started with the project. A list of major CPRA projects are engineering or permitting, and some of these are under construction. Now, a large number of these projects can and will be submitted for approval funding with NIFWIF and NERDA funding, but these are pretty typical of what they've been doing in the past. So I'm gonna just read them off. In Iberia Parish, Marsh Island, in Vermilion, White Lake Restoration, that's over in Vermilion. Fouchon segmented breakwater rocks. We're gonna protect Fouchon at 8.5 feet from West Bell Pass to 8.5 feet, 8.5 miles, 8.5 miles to the east. And that's in Lafourche Parish. And in East Timley Island, segmented breakwater rocks. Wine Island, which is in Terrebonne, and that's with rocks and to rebuild them. Those islands are about nine miles long, Timberlake in Wine Island. They're quite large. Barataria Land Bridge, 23.5 miles. It's going to create 6,800s at Barataria. And also there's to the north, Myrtle Grove is also a land bridge being built. It's phase 2. Vermilion, New Iberia levee floodgate. It's a 92-mile levee system that we're building from Vermilion to New Iberia to St. Mary. They have no levee systems. And in the Corps of Engineers, instead of the Barataria diversion, the 75,000 which we terminated, the Corps is going to build the Corps is going to complete the EIS on a 2,500 to 15,000 CFS medium diversion with dedicated dredging, which was authorized in Congress. And it's a 65% federal and 35% state match. Rockefeller, Grand Isle, we're going to finally complete the rocks in Grand Isle. We should start in May with the actual construction. The state's putting up $20 million in the Corps, $45 million. North side of Grand Isle, we're putting a levee with pump station, Empire Lock Building, lock system. Bayou Design and Floodgate, I'm going to get to that. That's 270-foot gate. We will go to construction at the beginning of next year. Of course, Morganza, everyone here knows Morganza. Tony Alford and the levee board's got a lot of the southern region up to 15 feet, and we're funding that. Chenaloo Islands, 13.5 miles. Spanish Pass Phase 2, that's Plaquemines. A land bridge in Britain Sound, and a land bridge in Terrebonne and Lafourche Parish, and numerous other projects. Those all the projects that we're pushing, and since I've got in office and since Governor Jeff Landry, All of this is on the state master plan. It's been vetted. It's been modeled. I know there's a lot of talk of scientific and all that, but we do scientific. We do model. It's sound engineering, and because you have to get permits with the Corps of Engineers and DNR, what DENR they call it now.
Right.
The next slide is basically this is your diversions. The operating diversion is the two green arrows at the front, Carnarvon and Davis Pond. The yellow arrow right below that is Mid Breton, which was terminated, and the orange one to the left is Barataria, which was terminated. Your two white arrows were created by Mother Nature. That's Neptune and Mardi Gras. And Neptune is 119,000 CFS, which the Corps has actually got engineering to choke that down. It's taking too much water out the river and causing shoaling. And then Mardi Gras is 35,000. So you've got plenty of diversions, and it was just Barataria. We could go on an hour with that. That project just didn't work, and it was too much money. The next page is, this is basically what the Corps is this is the medium diversion with sediment pipeline, with long distance pipeline sediment. The Corps is moving forward with this. They were stopped by the state in 2015. They will move forward with a 65% federal match, 35% state. Lower Land Bridge, we're building that 23.5 mile Barataria, 2,000 feet wide, roughly six feet to the center line, with rocks and living reefs on the south side. That's what we're doing in lieu of the Barataria. And the next one is, of course, I always show this slide is because this is Betneff, which told everyone a long time ago. On this page, it says it'd be the destruction of the fisheries if you move forward with the 75,000.
And this letter's from 2010, correct?
2010. It was totally ignored. It was sent to the Corps, and to my knowledge, I don't know if the public's ever seen this, but this Betneff is under LUMCON. It's funded by the Clean Water Act of the federal government and the state of Louisiana, and they basically said, the letter says, don't build it.
Right.
It doesn't work.
Why don't we do this? We need to take a quick break again. We're with Gordy Dove on Going Public, and we'll be back with more of the CPRA presentation right after this.
Sea-Level Construction is a heavy civil contractor that provides turnkey services for the industrial and marine industries. From building large-scale infrastructure to installing the foundation for expansion projects, Sea-Level and its family of companies offer a wide range of capabilities including driven piles, drill deep foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, barge maintenance and repair, site work development, heavy equipment repair services, and electrical services. Call Sea-Level Construction to set the foundations for your next big project.
Terrebonne Parish School District is now hiring bus drivers. A valid CDL is required. If you don't have a CDL, we have paid training available. You must be able to pass a medical health exam and a drug test. Our salary range is very competitive with similar jobs starting at $26 per hour. Benefits include free health insurance and retirement. Contact the TPSD Transportation Office at 876-7400 or apply online at www.tpsd.org.
A new company with a lot of history, GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.
Located at 5004 Imperial Drive in Houma, April and Iris is a must-see for those looking for exquisite home decor and gifts. Owned by April Boudreau, along with her talented design team, there is no lack of detail to enhance your shopping experience. April and Iris has all your decor needs.
Come in today and let us help you complete your design vision. It's what we do.
April and Iris, Homa's newest home interior and gift store, where decor and inspiration meet and fulfill all your design needs.
In South Louisiana, storms are a way of life. Every storm poses a different threat, whether from flooding or hurricane-force winds. At All South Consulting Engineers, we help protect our people from these disasters. Before a storm, we work with our leaders to prevent catastrophic damage. After the storm, we help get the resources needed for rebuilding. We have helped our cities, parishes, and school boards recover over $2 billion to rebuild our community. We'll be here for the next one.
And welcome back to Going Public. I'm Lonnie Thibodeau, again with Gordy Dove, chairman of CPRA, and we'll go back to your presentation, Gordy. I think we're talking about the Barataria Land Bridge project. Why don't we start with that?
Right, which this affects quite a few people, and you know, as the map, this slide will show that is on the state's master plan. Everything we're doing is scientifically done. Everything we're doing is modeled and engineered. And that just shows, that's the actual page from the state's master plan. The next one is what we had talked about, is that's actually in Plaquemines in Barataria. That's a land bridge. What a land bridge does, it slows the migration of your heavy salt water or salinity, high salinity levels north, while retaining and slowing your migration of your fresh water south. So therefore, inside the system, it grows and the vegetation is very nourished. That is actually the one going, that's just another picture of it. And that will create 6,900 actual acres, and it will benefit 276,000 acres all the way to Golden Meadow. The next one is showing you all the way to Golden Meadow, south of Golden Meadow, all the way to Port Sulphur. The next one shows you, we're still going to do that in green. That's the Lewis Bayou restoration. But the alignment is the yellow one going down south. And if you look at the next one, that actually shows what it's going to benefit all the way back to the intercoastal, which is 276,000 acres of pristine marsh and protection. And then the next one is the Terrebonne, which goes, that alignment was moved down to south of, if you look at that next slide, it was moved, that goes from 4 League Bay to Golden Meadow. Below, if you look at below Lost Lake, Lake Bichon, of course, Cocodrie is all protected in there, and Eastern Terrebonne, Montague, etc. This is a 2,000 foot wide land bridge. The material is pumped out of the bays. It's lined with rocks or living reefs on the south side of it. This is under engineering and design as we speak. We should be in construction in 2 years. This is about $1 billion. Now, where did we get that? When we terminated the Mid-Barataria, we ended up with about $2.5 billion that on a project that would have never been able to be completed, of course. And so together it's 476,502 acres from Port Sulphur to 4 League Bay is protected. This will save Terrebonne, Lafourche, Plaquemines, Jefferson, along with St. James, St. John, St. Charles, and what have you. This is what I tried to do 13 years ago. Well, we're doing it now, and we have the monies to do it. The next one is this is a 1,200 CFS pump. It's already been designed. It's in Lafourche Parish, and it will pump between Terrebonne and Lafourche to introduce fresh water from the Intercoastal Canal. The next one is the levee system I was telling you about, from Vermilion all the way down to St. Mary. And if you live in that area, this is very, very important. They flood every time. There's no levee systems. To show we're going up and down the coast. The next one are just floodgates being built in there at Delcom with pump stations, and that's Orders renditions. This is about $1 billion system, and that is actually under design for over a year now. A lot of these projects have been under design for a year or just recently started. This is when we canceled Breton, the Corps went ahead and started the 2007 word authorization of the Mr. Go. Here I am signing the agreement with the Corps, in which we are going to move, the Corps is going to move forward with repairing the Mr. Go, that's federal monies, but it's billions of dollars. That was signed about 6 months ago, but they wouldn't sign it until you canceled the Breton, which that's another one you didn't have the money to do. This is the Chandelier Islands, which we're doing. Chandelier, it's 13 miles, 355 million. That's actually under construction as we speak. That was recently awarded, showing you how big Chandelier Island is compared to Grand Isle, Whiskey Island. And I'm going a little fast because we've got a lot of slides. Estimated 355 million. So that's over in that's in Chandelier, which is east of the river. And the next one is, you know, you hear a lot of complaints from certain organizations that say that they don't like segmented breakwater rocks. In 2016, the Louisiana Wildlife Federation had a resolution stating that, you know, at the appropriate areas and all rocks should be used. So, you know, that, as you know, we put them in Grand Isle. We're finishing Grand Isle, which I talked about earlier. We have 15,000 linear feet of beach that we're going to put rocks. We will be under construction in May. It's a joint effort by CPRA and the Corps. Next one is Fouchon. As you know, that's our energy headquarters. And then that's also Loop. We're going to build 8.5 miles of segmented breakwater rocks, but they're at a +8 from West Bell Pass to the east towards Caminada. Next one is East Timberlake Island. This island was a robust island years ago. In 2015 and 2017, they were supposed to start the reconstruction of it, and naturally they didn't. And the project was killed, and of course we resurrected it.
Okay, why don't we do this? We're going to take one more break. We're with Gordy Dove from CPRA. We'll continue with the presentation right after this break.
Sea Level Construction is a heavy civil contractor that provides turnkey services for the industrial and marine industries. From building large-scale infrastructure to installing the foundation for expansion projects, Sea Level and its family of companies offer a wide range of capabilities including driven piles, drilled deep foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, barge maintenance and repair, site work development, heavy equipment repair services, and electrical services. Call Sea Level Construction to set the foundations for your next big project.
Located at 5004 Imperial Drive in Houma, April and Iris is a must-see for those looking for exquisite home decor and gifts. Owned by April Boudreau, along with her talented design team, there is no lack of detail to enhance your shopping experience. April and Iris has all your decor needs.
Come in today and let us help you complete your design vision. It's what we do.
April and Iris, Homa's newest home interior and gift store, where decor and inspiration meet and fulfill all your design needs.
A new company with a lot of history, GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.
In South Louisiana, storms are a way of life. Every storm poses a different threat, whether from flooding or hurricane-force winds. At All South Consulting Engineers, we help protect our people from these disasters. Before a storm, we work with our leaders to prevent catastrophic damage. After the storm, we help get the resources needed for rebuilding. We have helped our cities, parishes, and school boards recover over $2 billion to rebuild our community. We'll be here for the next one.
Led by a 7-member commission, the Terrebonne Port was created to assist our local industry in promoting economic development. We monitor government regulations that affect our local industry and work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to secure maintenance dredging funds. Because the HNC is the main artery for the heartbeat of Terrebonne's economy, Terrebonne Port fights a constant battle for funding to maintain the federally authorized navigable depth. We are now leasing waterfront and non-waterfront property. Terrebonne Port Commission, serving our industry to keep Terrebonne thriving.
And we're back to Going Public. I'm Lonnie Thibodeau. Again, CPRA Chairman Gordy Dove is with us. We'll continue with your presentation. I think we were talking about East Timberlere Island, Gordy, and now we're going to jump to another Lafourche Parish project.
Yes, and this is East Timberlere Island, right to the east of Fouchon. As you can know, it's not very much left. Actually, I started this project in 2012. It was canceled in 17, and the money diverted to the diversion. You know, the appetite, you know, all these projects I'm doing, most of them were on the master plan, and I pushed them, but the appetite was to do diversion. So, but we're back to where I started back in 2012. So, okay, and then this is actually East Timberlere Island, and then this is the breakwater. That's going to be 9 miles of breakwater. This says 6 to 9 miles of breakwater at a +8, and of course we're going to pump behind it and fill it in. We've got to do that because it's open sea now. That open sea goes right to Terrebonne Bay. And you, like I said, 6 to 8 feet above sea level. As you can see, that platform we used to be on the north side of it. So that's a Cassetet Island, which is north of it. We're doing Wine Island, which is completely submerged. That's 9 miles of island. That's probably a $200 million project. The East Timberlere Island is about $300 million, the one I was just showing you. And that is under engineering and design. And I always show Raccoon Island. It's very successful. That's a picture that's Raccoon Island right after the hurricanes. And it looks like that today. The segmented breakwater rocks rebuild themselves. And, you know, this is Boganza. Everyone's very familiar with that. Tony Alford, the board, does a wonderful job. And we get them as much money as we can. The Houma Navigational lock system, they're 2 years away from this. You will run through lock systems in Terrebonne Parish. A huge project for the people in Lafourche and St. Charles, St. James, St. John, Ascension, Assumption is this Bayou des Allemands floodgate. It's 270 feet. This is a $90 to $100 million gate. Now here's a slide of the, you can see the water moving north in des Allemands on the Ida. That's what we're stopping. This should have been built 12 years ago. It's completely designed. We're waiting on a permit. There's let me see, that shows a pretty good picture. Here you go, there's a gate to the right. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna build a levee and go back to 90 to seal it off until we can go all the way to Lafourche Parish, working with the Corps. Bayou Chene, wonderful gate. 400 feet long, stops the backwater flooding from the Chaffelin to Terrebonne. That was here. That is up and running. The Corps is designing and building two in the Coastal Canal floodgates, one to the east of Lafourche and one by Bonner's Canal, which will be closed for hurricanes. And those are sector gates. Those will be completed, the engineering, in 2028. And Spanish Pass, we're running back to Plaquemine. That is complete. That's what a land bridge looks like to your right. That's what we're going to be looking like in Terrebonne. And then,
so in other words, it's not high like a levee, it's wide.
But it is up to 5.5 to 6 in the center line.
Okay, gotcha.
And then vegetation's planted, and then rocks on the south side. And each of those sides on the east of Golden Meadow is $1 billion, and on the west of Golden Meadow is $1 billion. So it's about a $2 billion, $2 billion between both projects.
Gotcha.
So what we're saying here, we have the monies to do this, and so this is not pie in the sky. These are under engineering. We will start as soon as the permits are acquired. We will start. That's just some different projects. I try to show in Breton Sound that we've got all these projects going in Breton Sound on the east side of the river. So you can see how many projects. The green are in construction, the pink is in engineering, and so we are building land bridges over there. All the way to the right is the Chandeleur Island, which is actually under construction now. That's Delacroix area at all on the next slide. And so we are doing the east and west side of the Mississippi River. We're doing Marsh Island, which is out in Vermilion. Excuse me, in Iberia, White Lake, which is in Vermilion. That's a project running. Rockefeller, we're adding rocks out there, and we showed it. I represent the whole coast, so I know that we were just awarded $122 million in Restore grant. That is for the construction of the Calcasieu Lake. And these are just different pictures of Calcasieu Lake. And St. Tammany was awarded $5.9 billion. Now that is authorized. They still they still have to fund it, and it actually that takes a while. And that's just showing the Mississippi River. That's how much wood we drains down here, and of course it produces the dead zones.
Yeah.
That's why we don't want that water in our estuaries, or very little of it. Is if you read about hypoxic zones, you'll understand it, and that is that's bad for the fisheries. So with that, the governor's committed, CPRA is committed, my board. I'm chairman of the GOCA board, the Governor's Office of Coastal Activities, which is CPRA board, and we're moving these projects forward. We're all about projects. We're not studying. If we don't know what to build right now after 21 years, and 22 years I've been doing that, we all need to be run off. We know what to build. Everyone out there knows what to build. Everyone that has been pushing rocks for years, we're putting rocks. We're not going to do an island without putting rocks, and I want to tell the public that.
Right.
And we're going to build a land bridge, which is going to save these parishes like we should have done a decade ago. Again,
Gordy Dove, chairman of the Coastal Protection Restoration Authority, State of Louisiana. Great job. I don't know how you just did that in 30 minutes, but you did it. Gordy's the man. I'm Lonnie Thibodeau. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Going Public.
A new company with a lot of history, GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.